There are a few formal trails in the deeper backcountry, and those that do exist often climb rapidly in elevation or traverse uneven ground. Vegetation varies from desert scrub and cacti on the lower slopes to juniper, oak, and mixed woodlands at higher elevations, meaning footing can change abruptly from loose rock and gravel to dense brush. Because of the rugged topography, it's easy for someone traveling off established roads or trails to descend into deep canyons or ascend steep ridges without ever being seen from a distance, especially in areas that are not highly trafficked. Even experienced hikers can find navigation challenging when landscape features block line of sight and subtle drainage systems can funnel travel in unintended directions. This overall pattern, dramatic elevation change, dense and varied vegetation, and terrain that complicates line of sight is common throughout the forest and especially in the remote interior sections. These qualities make the forest breathtakingly scenic, but also hard to search comprehensively without localized logistic support.
So very rugged, and Joe will get some pictures of the place.
Sounds like a whole bunch of ridges and nothing.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Again, another area that I'd love to hike someday, but
not today.
Not today.
Some of the animals you will encounter: black bear, mountain lion, elk, coyotes, bobcats, rattlesnakes, scorpions, and spiders, including the black widow. That would end up getting me. I think something like a spider would.
You would get bit by the black widow.
Yeah. So as we said, some of the hazards Paul would have faced in the forest: cold nighttime temperatures. So even mild daytime conditions can drop in the 20s at night. Hypothermia becomes a serious risk once movement stops due to injury, fatigue, or navigation issues. As we said, rapid weather changes. Winter storms can come in quickly, bringing rain, sleet, snow. Sudden weather shifts reduce visibility and can erase tracks or landmarks. Large day-night temperature swings, so big diurnal swings, tax the body and increase dehydration, cold stress, especially if clothing or shelter isn't adequate. Wind exposure on the ridge lines. Wind dramatically accelerates the heat loss, as we said, and it just like burns your skin.
Yeah.
When you're hiking a mountain and the wind's hitting you in the face, it's the absolute worst.
It is.
Steep and rugged terrain, as we talked about, the deep drainages and canyons, limited and unclear trails, navigational challenges, all of the things that could go wrong really would go wrong if you don't know what you're doing out there.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, because it's winter, you have fewer daylight hours, so limiting the time of travel and chance of being caught overnight without shelter. And then all of this leads into, the dry winter air masks thirst, but dehydration accelerates fatigue, poor decision-making, and cold injury, and all of it leads to delayed rescue potential. So remote access, limited roads, vast search areas means even prompt SAR responses may not reach an injured hiker in time. Plus, this is like sounding very similar to the Paul Miller, where he went missing. And remember, he wasn't far off the trail, and it took him over a year to find him.
Yeah, he was. His remains were found not that far from the main trail that he was hiking.
And they searched for a while. It took all those images and all the processing just to find it. So, I mean, when you're in these areas, it's really like finding a needle in a stack of needles.
Yeah.